Hey, let's talk a little bit about this. Last week we told you about how Media Matters, which is it started out as a watchdog group for all media.
They were supposed to help America.
Yeah, that was what they told the IRS to get 501(c) tax-exempt status. And what's amazing is now the fact that they're pretty much solely dedicated to destroying the Fox News channel.
I haven't even noticed that.
And here's the thing about it, is because they've got tax-exempt status, the federal government and you, the taxpayer, are subsidizing their attack on the Fox News channel, an attack on a privately held corporation that is simply exercising its First Amendment rights.
Right, and so since most of you probably don't know what Media Matters is and don't read it regularly, we thought that we would bring you some of their quotes so that you, because you are a taxpayer, are a little bit better educated about their mission. So here's what they say their mission statement basically is and how it's changed. The strategy that we had towards Fox was basically a strategy of containment. The new strategy is a war on Fox. That's from David Brock. He's the chairman and founder of Media Matters.
So there's a lot of wiggle room there. It's a shaded gray.
Right.
So that's exactly it. So on a daily basis, if someone on Fox exhales too loud, that becomes a blaring news headline. But yet they are the nonprofit status that's supposed to benefit America through their tax breaks.
And you said shades of gray. Actually, C. Boyden Gray, the former White House counsel, said that their tax-exempt status should be revoked. Clearly, this is a violation. Here's something else one of the top dogs over there said. Media Matters is conducting opposition research on a dozen or so mid- and senior-level execs and producers. Look at that. Can you believe
Why would
that?
you do that?
Why?
Scare them, to scare them and to send a shiver down the spine so that they know that they're being watched and that maybe they're put so much pressure on them that they don't feel like working here anymore. I mean, that's the purpose, right?
This is America. Does that sound kosher to you? Does that sound like something that remember, keep in mind, they're a 501(c). They get the tax-exempt status. You know, if they were using private funds, that would be one thing. But the fact that they get the break, does that seem legal? I'm sure one of these days somebody's going to file something with the IRS to make sure that they get that revoked.
Well,
that's just crazy.
Feel free to email us and let us know your thoughts on this. And you can also email Media Matters, by the way, and let them know your thoughts on this.
They're very open and receptive to other views.
Or email the IRS. Left-wing attacks being supported by your tax dollars? That's right. The organization, Media Matters, is reportedly claiming a tax-exempt status, subsidizing their agenda and their war on Fox News. So why is the IRS and the federal government letting them get away with it? Joining us right now is the director of the American Center for Law and Justice, Jordan Sekulu. He joins us from the D.C. Bureau. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Steve.
Okay, so Media Matters is a 501(c) where they are exempt from paying taxes like a charity. However, you say that they have jumped the line.
That's right. I mean, like a charity, like an educational institution. I work for one of those 501(c)(3) nonprofits, and we do free legal service all around the country and the world, constitutional law. So we do give something back and provide. Media Matters, people that donate to them also get a tax deduction. So what's interesting here is we're subsidizing Media Matters' attack on Fox News, an attack on a corporation with freedom of speech rights, the freedom of press in the First Amendment. They're getting subsidized to do it, and it's partisan. And you cannot be a wing of the Democrat Party and get 501(c)(3) status. The terminology that they're using, their founder and their directors are using, is very dangerous if you're trying to keep your tax-exempt status. Saying that Fox News has now taken over the Republican Party and that they've declared a guerrilla war on Fox News means that they are a purely partisan organization. That doesn't qualify under the 501(c)(3) status.
Well, you know, you've got that status. You're part of an advocacy group. What should happen to Media Matters?
Well, listen, an individual or an organization can bring a complaint. I mean, certainly they can change their status if they want to get out of having something revoked. They've already started political action committees. They've got those kind of action funds. But think about when you talk about these big organizations, for instance, one like Planned Parenthood, who can be pretty liberal. They have Planned Parenthood, the 501(c)(3), then they have Planned Parenthood, the Political Action Committee. They divide those funds. And if Media Matters doesn't do that and just uses a Drop Fox campaign with their 501(c)(3) status, they are violating the rules that the answers they ask you. When you apply to become tax exempt, they ask you, are you going to be doing any political work? And if they answered no then and got approved, then they're in real trouble.
Now, when you say somebody should contact the IRS, you mean
Yeah.
a member of Congress, a member
Yeah.
of the public? What do you mean?
The way it works is individuals or organizations can bring this attention to the IRS and say, listen, we think that they're violating their tax-exempt status. And so as this begins to flush out, which
Sure.
it is more and more, that could be the next course of action.
Interesting stuff. All right. Jordan Sekulou from the American Center for Law and Justice. Thank you, sir, for joining us live.
Thanks, Steve.